Good morning. I'm Dan Krasner, Executive Director of Integrity Florida. We're a nonpartisan research institute with the mission to promote integrity in government, to expose public corruption. We're here today because policymakers are considering cutting corporate profits tax revenues. So we're releasing a study to provide more transparency about the actual corporate profits tax rates being paid by the Fortune 500 corporations headquartered in Florida to state governments across the U.S. Here are the key findings from our study about the 17 Fortune 500 corporations headquartered in Florida. While the corporate profits tax rate in Florida is 5.5%, the 13 profitable Fortune 500 corporations headquartered in Florida paid a 2.7% average corporate profits tax rate to state governments in the U.S. between 2011 and 2013. The 13 profitable corporations made $35.1 billion in estimated corporate profits between 2011 and 2013. The 13 profitable corporations paid $945.7 million in total estimated corporate profits taxes to all state governments in the U.S. between 2011 and 2013. Florida taxpayers paid more than $2.4 billion to 10 of the 17 corporations for state government contracts between 2011 and 2013. And Florida taxpayers have paid 13 of the 17 corporations more than $147 million in subsidies. Bottom line, Floridians gave the largest profitable corporations in the state more public money through government contracts and subsidies than these corporations paid on their profits taxes across the country between 2011 and 2013. And policies that allowed corporations to take advantage of low corporate profits tax rates, along with major government contracts and subsidies, could be a result of these corporations spending significant dollars on lobbying and campaign contributions, including more than $22 million just between the 2012 and 2014 cycles. Key recommendations that Integrity Florida is providing to policymakers to consider for reform. Number one, Florida policymakers should consider adoption of the Model State Corporate Profits Tax Disclosure Act. At a minimum, a company seeking a government contract or a subsidy from taxpayers should be required to disclose publicly the organization's corporate profits tax rate, the amount of state and local tax revenue they pay during the years which the entity receives a government contract or subsidy. The Florida Department of Economic Opportunity's online disclosure website, their Economic Development Incentives portal, should be expanded to include every subsidy deal from state and local government in Florida and the details of those deals. Number three, Florida's lobbyist disclosure laws should be enhanced to provide the public with the detail of the exact compensation that lobbying firms are receiving from corporations or any of their clients, as well as the specific legislative and executive policies that their lobbyists are advocating for. Site selection consultants and other professional services firms that seek subsidies for corporations should be required to register as lobbyists. And finally, the Florida legislature should implement the budget transparency recommendations of the User Experience Task Force that President Gates and Speaker Weatherford and the legislature in 2013 put together. And we'd be happy to take any questions. I have with me Alan Stonecipher, who's a co-author of the report, along with Ben Wilcox, our other co-author for today's report. And also with us today is Marilyn Wills, Chair of the Board of Directors of Integrity Florida.
I guess, to you guys this makes a lot of sense, but to somebody who's sitting at home, John Q. taxpayer, why should they care? Why does this matter then?
Floridians should know that there's more money coming out of our pockets from the public to the largest corporations in this state in terms of their contracts and subsidies than those companies pay back on their profits taxes to state governments nationally.
What kind of message does it say, though, learning all this? What does it say about Florida?
Well, the question is, who should pay for Florida? Who should pay for Florida today and our future? We have major needs in this state. Education, our roads and infrastructure. Who's paying? And recent reports and this one show that the average Florida taxpayer, an individual citizens are picking up a lot more of the tab than the biggest corporations in this state.
Is there any benefit to the corporations having that rate? I mean, does it mean that they do business here instead of other places, or is it just a giveaway?
Well, we've identified in our study millions of dollars in subsidies and government contracts. I mean, some companies in Florida are receiving significant revenue and profits right out of taxpayers' pockets with the contracts and the subsidies they receive. The question about the benefits of the corporate profits tax rate as is, or whether it should go up or down, we didn't address in this report. Integrity Florida hasn't taken a position on the corporate income tax. We're just seeking to provide policymakers with more transparency, and the public with the bigger picture of how much these companies at the very top, the Fortune 500 corporations based in Florida, how much are they getting from taxpayers? How much are they spending to politically influence policymakers? And we know a lot about what the largest corporations in Florida are getting from us, the people, but there's so much secrecy surrounding what they're actually paying back in their corporate profits taxes. Thank you, everybody.